Rebecca Lombardo. I'm the co-founder of the 100 Collection, an insider's guide to the best vacation rental stays. And today I'm here with Nars from RueBaRue.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to chat with me. So I have to tell you that I actually looked into the word RueBaRue, and I think it means face to face. Is that right?
It is, but there's an alternative meaning which means getting to know. It's about getting to know places, things, everything that you want to discover when you travel.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So what did you design RueBaRue to do then?
So it started off as a tool for a traveler. So a traveler, when they go to a destination, they are seeking new information, new experiences, and that was what the product was set out to do. And then eventually we've grown into a communication product. So today we do two different things on RueBaRue. So one is a digital guest book, which has two parts to it. One is providing information about the home so that the guests know what to expect when they arrive. It's not like a hotel where we know exactly what to expect, but when you check into a vacation home, you're not sure what to expect. So that is our home guide, part of our guest book. And the area guide is exploring the destination itself, what beaches to go to or what hikes to go to, restaurants, things to do, and the local secrets that are hard to find on Google or TripAdvisor. So property managers can use our guest book to convey that information to their guests.
Okay, so you were able to know when the guest is checking in, and so you can send them that information about the property prior to them checking in. Is that correct?
Exactly, yeah. So we are integrated with 12 different property management software, including Streamline, Escapia, LMPM, Track. So with that integration, we pull guest information into our system every hour, so we know exactly when the guest is checking in and checking out, so they can send this information before they arrive or during their stay, so they can plan their trip and have a great time.
Excellent. Okay, so my biggest question here, because this is kind of prevalent, is that mobile friendly? Because most people, right, before they check in, well, most people in general are on their phones, but of course, as they're out and about exploring, they're on vacation, they're on their phones or their iPads. So is the content or the guest book or the information that you're delivering, first of all, is it via email or is it in an app, and is it mobile friendly?
Sure. So it has to be mobile friendly. I mean, no traveler is traveling with their laptop, or we hope that they don't carry their laptop. So our guest books are mobile responsive, which means it looks great on a desktop as well as a small screen. And the predominant way we send the guest book to the guest is by text. Because what's happening with emails is that there are less people reading emails and emails get lost. And if there's a booking coming from Airbnb, no one is expecting an email coming from a property manager. So we send the guest book links by text to the guest before they arrive. So it's on the top of their smartphone. They can click on it. They can bookmark it and use it, for planning as well as during their stay.
Okay, gotcha. And so when you click on it, does it open into a browser window? Is that the...
It does open a browser window, so they don't have to install a mobile app for it, because mobile app install is a little tricky. It's not everyone downloads an app and wants to install it. And if you have a large group, not everyone wants to install it. So the open rate generally tends to be lower. So they've always made it as a mobile responsive link. And it's a unique link we generate for each guest. So the guest book link is activated at a specific time and expires at a specific time.
Gotcha. Okay. And then how is this product different from what else might be on the market?
Everyone does a different style of implementation. So we keep our traveler in mind and sort of think about what do they need. So I think two things which we do different is one is we import a lot of information from their property management software. So if you think about it, most property managers would input information about the home, such as amenities and trash pickup information, door codes or key locks. All that information is already in their software. So they don't want to duplicate that information into another system. like our guest book. So we sync a lot of that information from a property management software into our system. So that's the first thing I think we do different. The second thing is we license content from Google. So we have a curation system which automatically curates things to do, restaurants, grocery stores, pharmacies, into their guides immediately. So if they have homes in 10 different markets, we create 10 different area guides within seconds. And then the property managers can go in and curate it to what based on their local knowledge. So they can sort of say, these are the restaurants they like, these they don't. So those two things is something I think we are unique about. But I think also how the overall experience. I mean, we've simplified our layout, to keep it, as easy as possible for anyone of any age group to use and interact with.
Interesting. Okay. So, it's kind of speaking of age group and usage, what does your kind of ideal client look like? Do you have a profile or a description or
Oh, I mean,
commonalities?
yeah. So in terms of our customers, I mean, our target customers are property managers, and our sweet spot is anywhere from 50 to 100 units. We have, hundreds of customers who have, a handful of units, add to all the way to 500 plus units. So we work with all of them, and we like all of them because we get great feedback from, different groups of people. So, but our sweet spot is 50 to 100. They make their decisions very fast. They can be up and running, within a few hours. So our system doesn't require a lot of time to be up and running. So, I mean, our system, we have another product called text messaging. And that text messaging, we can guarantee that they can be up and running in less than an hour, which includes training their staff on how to use it.
Okay. So is there a prerequisite for working with you? Because, it might depend on how many people you have on staff, or do you need somebody dedicated to this product? Is there you have to have a PMS? Like, what are the prerequisites?
Yeah, ideally, if they have a PMS, it would be a lot more efficient, for them to use the software, because without a PMS, they would have to manually come in and input guest information into our system, or we have an importer tool where they can import guest bookings into our system. But our ideal sort of situation is that if they're integrated with one of our 12 softwares we integrate with, so they can be up and running very fast.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to ask you to think about your happiest customer right now, like whoever's the happiest with you. Why are they so happy with you?
I think one is it does what it commits to do. So the thing which we sell our product on is the time they save when they use our product. So our software, is reducing their phone calls from anywhere from 50 to 75%. Typically, property managers get these questions before the guest arrives, anywhere from a day or two. We've had a customer who would get 50 phone calls every Saturday, and that has dropped to 2 calls. So, so that's the efficiency that they see, is the drop in call, and also the improvement in terms of how they interact with their guest. Because today phone calls are the default medium for a lot of property managers, which means that they have to have additional staff during their peak season to answer a lot of calls. What our system, especially with our text messaging software, does is it sort of shifts that from phone calls to text. And with text, an operator can handle 10 different guests at the same time. They don't have to answer one question at a time. Another benefit of texting is because we are integrated with the software, when a question comes in, from a guest, the typical set of questions a property manager have to ask a guest when they call is, hey, what's your name? Where are you staying? What are your arrival dates? Are you already in the property? So they go through the series of questions, and then they have to look up that guest information in their software, which takes, anywhere from a minute or two. With texting, they entirely skip those, because with the phone number, we automatically pull the booking, so they can respond to the guest question directly without having to ask those extra questions. So there's a lot of efficiency in that. So our happy customers are those who clearly see that value, and they see the time saving, and their staff is also more relaxed about it, because phone calls drive certain anxiety. So because if some guests are not happy, they may have a strong tone, they expect a lot, but with texting, it sort of makes it easier for them to handle those, potentially harsh calls, which could upset a staff member.
That's going from like a very reactive position to putting them in a position where they could be proactive with the guest if they wanted to, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
when you say, because it does sound like a lot of time savings, so that's a lot of phone calls to be reduced. So yes, definitely time savings. And my hope is that they use that time, save time wisely to engage in proactive, positive communication with the guest. So you're really helping them kind of pivot their use of time, which, for property managers is like gold, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So just a little bit about you. Where are you from?
So I'm originally from India, and I moved here for grad school in 1995. This is my second company. I used to have a design agency for 15 years before I started RueBaRue. And now I'm based in Boston, and my team is mostly in the US, and we have some support staff who are in Philippines at this point.
So do you get cold easily? Because I just, when I think of Boston, I think like that's a very cold place.
I don't believe so. I mean, I enjoy Boston more than any other, place out there. I mean, I've been to, a lot of destinations, and I think I like the four seasons. And every sort of location has some downside to it here. So you have to deal with a couple of cold months, especially like I would say Jan and Feb, and then you're okay. So I enjoy the cold weather quite a lot.
Yeah, we definitely get four seasons here in the DC area. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Especially with February. Okay, so you mentioned a design firm. I don't think I knew that. What kind of design company was it?
So we did a lot of web and app design for companies in the Boston area. So my background is in technology and then in UX. So we've done projects for MIT, Harvard, Fidelity, Thomson Reuters, a lot of big companies, and I've been doing that for many years. And one thing about consulting is that you solve different problems for different people. So I decided that I want to solve a single problem really well, and that's where I picked travel as a sector that I wanted to pursue. And chose a problem, in terms of communication as a problem that is always an issue in every industry. So I picked that problem for RueBaRue and sort of kept building that product.
That's very interesting. And I think that speaks to the UX speaks to how RueBaRue came out, in just my personal opinion. I'm interested about this problem that you're solving, because it's almost like you're solving two problems actually, right? Because it's the communication with the guest before, during, and after their stay. And then it's also once the guest is in market and the experience they're having, with the location as well.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's about providing the right information at the right time using the right medium, right? So we chose, I mean, you cannot put everything in an email and send it to a guest. That's too much. You cannot dump everything in a text message and send it to a guest. It's too much. So we combine our strategy with sending emails, text messages, and guest work in a way that it works efficiently for the guest as well as the property manager, so they have the right information at the right time. So we have customers who send their door codes 15 minutes before the check-in time because they don't want the guest to show up before. So we do a lot of things. Or there's an emergency alert system. So a lot of our customers are in markets that can get hit by a hurricane or fire, or even day-to-day maintenance, like there is a water leak or water shutdown. So there's a lot of communication that they have to do outside of the traditional ones, and we have tools in place to communicate with them efficiently and quickly, so that the guests are not panicking and calling the office to say, hey, what's going on.
Excellent. Well, that definitely sounds like you're doing a lot for your partners. So I'm glad that we had a chance to kind of unpack that today a little bit. If somebody just heard everything we just said and they want to follow up with you, what's the best way?
Yeah, so the best way is to go to our website and schedule a demo. I would say every property manager should look at every product that they want to sort of look at specifically the type of problem they're trying to solve. So they can schedule a demo through our website. It's a quick 30 minutes, and we sort of talk about the digital guestbook as well as text messaging. And if anyone is interested, they can also sign up for a free trial where we assign them a phone number and they can use our system for 2 weeks to see if it's a right fit for them. So we recommend those 2 steps, the demo and the trial, to see if it's a solution that will solve their problems.
Perfect. Thank you again so much for your time today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Rebecca.